Greetings. This is Elder Blacklight, the motivator. Just having a little midnight chat. The reason why I call this a midnight chat is because we're in our darkest hour. It's 12 midnight. But remember this, the darkest hours are always before dawn. Dawn is just on the horizon. A couple more hours, we'll be in a new day. But first we got to get over and wake up from this terrible nightmare and sleep that we're in. This is going to be a little schooling session. I've been using the Nipsey Hussle, his tragic, what appears to be tragic assassination. And everyone is accusing, before he even had his trial, they just say he's the murderer. He's the murderer, but you are innocent until proven guilty. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And when you look at those videos that TMZ presented to us, there's a whole lot of doubt. And when you take notice of the so-called witnesses that was at the scene, it's a whole lot of reasonable doubt. And people don't want to say, well, I'm not a conspiracy theory, like there's something bad about being a conspiracy theorist. There's nothing bad about that. See, and I'm going to tell you, and hope I can wake you up from your sleep. I'm going to tell you what you're up against and the reason why you can't come out your sleep. For one reason, we got a lot of gatekeepers for our enemy. Gatekeepers, hypocrites, agents, boule, etc. working for the enemy. There always have been, in every war, sellouts and turncoats. And they are here to give you the propaganda that everything is cool, ain't nothing wrong with nothing. And as always, they want to make the black man seem like the bad guy. Even though we are now committing crimes against ourselves, we are now murdering ourselves, it's because of the social scientists, social engineers that play with your mind. 400 plus years we've been under a microscope. I don't know if I can get this all out in this one video, but from time to time I plan on coming to you with a midnight chat and explain the times and the situation that we in. 400 years was the time that was spent engineering our mind, our thoughts, or deleting our thoughts, previous culture, and our previous way we thought, in like a culture that is foreign to us. Now we seem to think that we are Americans. Some of us don't even want to say we African Americans. Some of them just want to say we Americans. Others want to say we African Americans. Some of us don't even want to use the term black because everything black is evil. So I'm just going to say a few more things and then hoping that you get the picture. You do have an enemy. The enemy that you have is the opposite of you. If you're heavily endowed with carbon melanin, there are those who are less fortunate that have very little. That carbon melanin is your wealth. Now, you can't say that you're a Christian and don't believe that you and the Father are one. After all, Christian means Christ-like. And this is the way, and y'all put the title of Christ on one y'all call Jesus. And in the New Testament, he spoke these words. He said, when you see me, you see the Father. I am the Father are one. They say it's only a three-dimensional world that we live in. But I say it's a four-dimensional. You can only see three dimensions when your eyes are open. But when you close your eyes, you go into the fourth dimension. Into the world of imagination and thought. Whatever you conceive, the mind conceives, it manifests itself in the physical. This is how you are born, and this is how you are produced. You create a body for yourself, made up of DNA and, the DNA is coded. Coded means it has numbers. Numbers is the way we measure things. So you got those who want to say, well, it's black magic and spookism. There's nothing spooky. It's all science. See, at one time, maybe a couple of trillion years ago, we had the supreme knowledge of ourselves. And as time went on, we started descending. And all the knowledge was written down. And then a scientist created our alter ego, which is less than we are. And thus you have the Caucasian. The Caucasian is put here to challenge. Now, when you're living in this world today, everything is a challenge. Everything is competition. And when you go up against competition and a challenge, either it will make you or break you. So everything we did here in the U.S. of A., we excelled. We played in their game, but now we beat them out at their own game all the time, whether it be baseball, basketball, whatever the game is. We went out. And in business, once we learn how to play their game, we start beating them out in that. But what happens? They put a roadblock, or they knock you out altogether, because their game is terrorizing and bullying, you know. And so what we do is, by us being not in our right minds, but in their minds, we automatically think that they are our foster daddy. They are our daddy, but they are our foster daddy because they raised us to be like them. But we outdoing them, see, because we they fathers. And so they also put terror, fear in us when they torture us and beat us when we were coming up enslaved. That fear goes to your DNA, right on to the next generation. The ignorance by them uh, not letting us read or write or speak our language, that goes to the next generation. So in this generation, they figure like they got us in our weakest state. And that's why it says in the Bible, uh, the next generation will be weaker but wiser. We got the capacity to be over them, but we are weak to their suggestions. We are weak to their game. So when Nipsey excelled, they put together a scheme to eliminate him, but in their haste, they messed up. Now this is a sign for you to wake up. In the next video, if we have time, we're going to explain it to you. Stay with me. This is Black Light.